there is no encryption by default in AWS, right? What's, yes?
Before we go
Yep.
into encryption, I noticed you put IPsec.
Yeah.
A very complex protocol. Are you agnostic to use OpenVPN just as equally?
Oh, okay, so this requires that you have to define an IPsec tunnel mode security association, AES 128, SHA-1, perfect forward secrecy, and BGP. Yeah, that's how that works. Now, if you wanted to build your own VPN environment with public EC2, absolutely, surely you could use OpenVPN, and we've got a lot of customers who are doing that, right? But those machines might also have internet access. This is sort of a way of saying, that's my machine. I left out kind of an interesting attribute. These machines, they don't get any IP addresses. You define the IP address. So it literally is a box on your network. It just happens to be physically located in ours. All right, so encryption, just briefly. You don't get any encryption by default with AWS, but you are absolutely free to use whatever encryption that you want. Our IT department is in the process of working through their policies and procedures for moving Exchange, SharePoint, and Office Communication Server onto Amazon VPC. I'm intimately involved in this project. And one of the things that they're looking at doing is using IPsec for machine-to-machine communication, primarily because that way we can authenticate both ends of the connection. And then they're going to use BitLocker to encrypt the data volumes. So that will work. Running BitLocker on a data volume that is an EBS volume absolutely will work. If you've got Linux volumes, you can use whatever is appropriate for you. We don't place any limits on what kind of encryption technology you might want to use. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, right now there's no TPM virtualization. So no, the Windows 2008 instances, even though you can use BitLocker, it will not use TPM. So you're going to have to either store those keys in the registry or do something else with them. And we're actually working with Microsoft on what a best practice would be in that case, especially because BitLocker data volumes are not automatically unlocked when their server boots, right? So this is sort of like kind of my home, the AWS Security Center, aws.amazon.com/security. And it already looks a little bit different than that now because we've put some new information up there. We have now published a procedure for how to report vulnerabilities. We are encouraging that if researchers or customers find a vulnerability in the system, that they report that to us. We have a dedicated email address for that, aws-security@amazon.com. There is an SLA associated with that. We will be assigning CVSS scoring to do security bulletins, and we do request responsible disclosure for that. We also have published a penetration testing policy. If you want to do penetration testing of your applications, that is entirely allowed. All we ask is that you ask permission first. We're going to send you a form. You have to fill out the form. The form does limit the kinds of tools you can use. Our legal department asked at the very beginning that we limit those tools. We're working with trying to allow you to use a broader set of tools for that. Really, the only thing we ask that you don't do is please do not do denial of service tests, because that causes our security guys to spin up in unnecessary cycles. We will not allow you to do denial of service tests, but you're free to do penetration testing at the application level. And we also have a PGP key out now if you need to send this to us and you want to protect it that way. So we'd love to talk about compliance. Just a couple updates on compliance. Turns out that the HITECH Act is going to have some changes in the HIPAA, so I'm working on rewriting that. We've gone through the second SAS 70 Type 2 round, and we've made it much easier for you to see that now. ISO 27001 and FISMA are in progress. Here are some things I'm working on. I know I'm running out of time. I'm just going to run through this really, really quickly, and then I'll be here all day so we can talk about this one-on-one a little bit later. What does it mean to be compliant when you don't own the infrastructure? I think there's some interesting guidance that I could put together, but I'd love some feedback on what you would like that to look like. And also, one thing that is on my mind is is how to make it very clear and understandable where our security ends and where your security begins. That's probably my highest priority thing of some research and some reporting that I want to do. So, I want to thank the CSA very much for giving me the opportunity. We are not members of the CSA yet. We're trying as hard as I can to convince the organization that it's good for us, good for you. But I'm here for you. That's, I was sent here to talk, but I want to listen as much as I can get a hold of me. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the time.